And the reason we asked Joe to present the monologue from doubt is because without doubt, there's no growth. Without doubt, there can be no certainty, there can be no peace. And yet doubt's been so looked down upon in religious circles. You know, I turned on the television a while back and I saw a televangelist who was talking about doubt, the evils of doubt. And he said this line, which I thought was very catchy, a little cheesy, and certainly untrue in my perspective, but I remembered it anyway. He said, "Give doubt an inch and it will become your ruler." Give doubt an inch and it will become your ruler. In other words, if you open your mind to questions, to doubts, then very quickly those doubts will become the ruler of your life. Now, many of us grew up in religious circles where we were discouraged from questioning. Well, I'm here to invite you today to question, to doubt everything, including everything that I'm saying to you. Doubt it all. Question everything. Test everything against your own intuition and common sense. Doubt is not a weakness. Doubt is a strength. Doubt is essential. It's necessary for growth. Without doubt, there would be no Occupy Wall Street movement. Doubt is what launches us into the questioning of the status quo. Doubt is essential to a democracy. Without doubt, we don't move beyond the way things are now. Without doubt, you don't get beyond those questions, those issues from your past which are holding you back. Doubt gets you beyond where you have been to break the bonds of fear and limitations to live the life you can live. Doubt is essential for growth. Doubt is essential for democracy. Doubt is essential for religious beliefs. Without doubt, there is no such thing as belief. Without doubt, there can be no certainty in religion. I want to offer you two different philosophical strands around doubt. I want to throw a couple of philosophers at you, and these will be more interesting to some than others. But stay with me, and I hope that I can give you some concrete examples of two different schools when it comes to doubt. The first is the rationalist school, and the second is the existentialist school. Now, the great philosopher who pioneered the way for rationalism in philosophy was Descartes, who said the only way to find, to access the ultimate source of truth is through your own critical thinking facilities. You have to think through it yourself. And that's where we get the phrase, putting Descartes before the source. I apologize. You have to put Descartes before the source. Now, let me give you a very practical, concrete example of what Descartes was saying. He said the only way you could come to truth was to doubt everything. Doubt everything you've ever held to be true. He used the analogy of taking apples out of a barrel. You take every apple out of the barrel to inspect it. The only ones you put back in the barrel are the apples that are without blemish, that are healthy apples. Otherwise, you toss them away. The reason he uses this analogy is because one bad apple, we know what happens. One bad apple corrupts the whole lot. So if there's one fallacy in your belief system, in your worldview, it will corrupt your whole worldview. And many of us have experienced this when one particular aspect of our religious belief from the past, we've realized it no longer makes sense to us, and we've realized that it's corrupting every different aspect of our life. Maybe it's the inerrancy of the Bible. Once you question that, once you question the inerrancy of the Bible, everything starts to change. Once you doubt an interventionist God, everything changes. And that's all right. It's safe for everything to change. It begins with doubt, and it begins with your own ability to reason. Now, what Descartes said was, if you take each of your assumptions, presuppositions, and question it, and toss out the ones that no longer are absolutely, completely true, the only thing you're left with is your ability to think and to question. And that's why he came up with his great statement, I think, therefore I am. And we could retranslate that as I doubt, therefore I am. Your ability to doubt, the thinker who is behind those thoughts, is what is the essence of truth for you. And that's the first strand of doubt, to encourage doubt. In fact, that's the way we get to the essence of who we are. But the second strand is that of existentialism. Now, Kierkegaard is the great philosopher who pioneered existentialism, and he said, well, thoughts are probably not the most basic thing. Experience is the most basic element of human life. So Kierkegaard changed it to, I experience life and humanity, therefore I am. And this was a radical change. But let me explain why this is so important. By the way, I think there are truths in both. I think Descartes had a wonderful truth in terms of reason, and I think Kierkegaard has a wonderful truth in terms of human experience. The way you know that what the source of life is to stay in the middle of change. While everything falls off around you, things that aren't certain, things that aren't sure, there's something that remains solid, and that is your humanity. Your ability to experience, the privilege of participating. And so Kierkegaard talked about taking a leap of faith. And when he talked about a leap of faith, he wasn't saying we should blindly adhere to what other people tell us. He was suggesting that we should leap into the unknown, to the uncertainties of life, because that is where we come closer to the essence of who we are. So take from both. Take from rational faculties. Take from experience. Doubt everything. Doubt even your experiences. Doubt your interpretations of experience. And what you find when you come to the heart of what is left is the essence of who you are.